Okay, so um, even though my new PC is 10,000 times more reliable and better than the laptop I was using, it still isn't my PC per se, um, because I didn't build it. But there's some things that um, well, whether you call it personal growth or just the fact that um, it just ain't that really serious, or I really just don't care. I don't know what it is. But I got this cyber power PC from all places on the planet, Walmart. And it was $900, like 800 some dollars plus tax. It came out to like $900. Okay, and my budget for to buy a PC, and it's still, even though I was going to spend $1,500, I was going to. It was still a temporary machine until I was going in the background. Once I was ready, I was going to start buying things, piece by piece. Okay, um, and but I couldn't pass it up. First of all, it was a PC. I was really shocked to see that in a Walmart. Okay, I've never bought any of their PCs, but of course, I knew about them. And going through their website several times in my IT life. Their machines are pretty decent. I was like, wow, that's not bad. I mean, but at the same time, you also gotta understand, back in the day, okay, I could tell you, all right, because, and like I said, my very first PC was a bare bone PC. After that, I built my own, okay, which technically a bare bone system. Back then you were only getting a case, a motherboard, a CD-ROM, and that's it. So you still have to get your graphics card, your RAM, your hard drive. All right. I'm sorry, and plus you got a power supply with the bare bones. So technically you still are building it. So every PC until up to this year, I've always built one. Okay. All right. Oh, and for the just to let you know that this video has no purpose whatsoever. So what I'm doing is giving you a I really don't know what this video is, but I decided, I feel like making a video, so here we are. So nonetheless, as you can see, I'm watching Nightmare Kitchens again. Yo, this show is like, like I said, it's not the best show in the world, but hey, it's for some reason I have this philosophical relating aspect of my past. Okay, looking at my past and looking how I am now, and pat myself on the back sometimes and say, damn, dude, you're totally a different person. Yo, if this was back in the day, you would have did ABC, blah 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 blah. But nonetheless, see, I lost my train of thought. Oh, nonetheless, uh, this PC, I really like it. Okay, I really do. I'm still not a guy. I'm telling you, I'm still an Intel guy. Okay, all right. And originally, I was an AMD guy. My very first PC was an AMD because I could not afford those Intel prices. But I'm telling you guys, the floating point and the rendering speeds of an Intel is just like wow. All right, and of course, when you have a YouTube channel with over 2,000 videos, that's a lot of rendering. All right, but you also got to stand that slow rendering had no impact on me whatsoever until I went to an Intel and was like, wow, that's crazy. You could just see the numbers, 1%, 3%, 5%, 20%. I was like, damn, that thing is crazy. But still, even today, guys, it could take 24 hours for a video to render. I just don't care because in the background, while it's rendering, I'm doing other things. So this is not a killing point for me to rip out the motherboard and the RAM. The motherboard and the processor and put in an Intel. It's just not. Maybe because I'm 50 years old and it really after dealing with that laptop, guys, even like sound issues. Okay, I'm just like, what is going on? I would have to reboot the actual PC because the sound wouldn't work. It does not matter if it's a fresh iOS. It doesn't matter if I did a command prompt command to repair the OS. And if you don't know, if you don't know what that is, maybe I'll make a video on that one day. But nonetheless, it just doesn't matter. Okay, so uh, going from the laptop to a machine where I haven't had a problem with this machine. Oh, that's not true. That's not true. I did have one problem just a couple days ago. Matter of fact, and I believe it was 2 days ago. Um, what the hell was I doing? I know I was doing VMware. Okay, I believe I was doing VMware, and doing the V and trying to do something like reload the PC or power it down on the VMware side. Okay, I got a blue screen of death. I was like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Wow." Now, okay, I had issues with my SSD hard drive on my laptop, and I had to take it to Best Buy. And guys, I don't let other people touch my stuff, okay? But I could not get that damn thing, okay, to format. I just couldn't. Okay, and what was happening was I was not using the correct card reader. And so I took the Best Buy. I'm like, can you format this for me? And it's cool. What was cool about it is they didn't even charge me. All right, they were like, we just put it in and formatted it. I'm just, how's that possible? And then it clicked and said, do you think that I might be using the wrong card reader? Okay, so I bought one. Okay, because she thought that I was using the wrong one. But at the same time, she was honest. Okay, she was like, to be honest, I've never done that before. So I'm not sure, but it does sound like that's possible. So I bought one. Came home and bam. Okay, I took the old card reader, put the SSD in there. Dude, would not initialize. Would not read it. It would just have a big old red X on it. Okay, and it wasn't big either. But put it in the new card reader that I just bought from Best Buy, and bam, voila. So I learned something from that experience. So, but the only thing that's needed with this PC, which is what I'm going to do, is an upgraded graphics card, which really isn't that serious at the moment. It still plays all my games, so I'm all right. And hard drive space, because it's not enough. Okay, I need 4 terabytes. I mean, I'm not even lying. Okay, because when I start installing games, man, that damn that damn hard drive fills up way too fast. Because I mean, every one of my games are like 60 gigs, 100 gigs, 150, 120, 30 gigs. Okay, so that adds up fast. And when you have a problem with hard drive space, you go through, you delete all your temporary files and all your files, right? And then you're like, where the hell is all this space being allocated? It's like Windows will allocate space that you can't find. Okay, all right, you're just like clueless, and it's just like, and then you start doing looking at the properties of folders, and it's like, well, goddamn, this thing says it has 200 gigs. Where is the 200 gigs? I can't find it. Okay, so I have issues too. All right, and you gotta understand. Okay, all right, I was a PC god back in the 90s. Okay, and it wasn't hard to be because technology was growing. Okay, the 100 Pentiums in 1994 just came out. That's when I got into PCs. Okay. And what triggered it was the game Stonekeep, which I really wish they would redo and remaster, because that game, if it wasn't so pixelated, I was still play it today. It literally took my virginity of gaming, PC gaming, and I've been in love ever since. But that's what I did as a career. Matter of fact, I moved out of Maryland to move to Texas because PC repair jobs up here was more of a programming thing, meaning they were looking for programmers. That's what filled up the job the job section of the newspaper, not PC repairs, and I moved to Texas because that was booming. All right, and one thing that a lot of people don't know about me is I will travel across the planet. Okay, to go where the jobs are at. All right, I've always been that way. Okay, so like accelerating my career, I would move every year. Okay, because as a contractor, especially in this tri-state area of Maryland, D.C., and Virginia, um, your contracts, it could be now. First of all, I've never had a 5-year contract. Okay, all right, and actually that's not true. I had a 5-year contract and it ended in 6 months. Okay, all right. All that to me is just verbiage. Okay, um, the longest contract I have been on, uh, technically it's been a little bit over a year. Okay, but because the project's done, the people are not needed. Okay, not to mention the fact you got a lot of shady stuff in the background that you don't know about because you don't know your job is IT, not knowing what the finances in the business is. Okay, but there's a lot of cutthroating in this industry, so um, it's kind of hard to build a life if you're not working 12 months out of the year. And but the cool thing about it is, all right, these three tri-state areas, they're at will state, meaning they can let you go for whatever reason. If they don't like your hair, they're not gonna say that because that would be discrimination. But hey, you're gone. All right, period. You say something that your manager doesn't like, see ya. Okay, because all they have to do is call a recruiter and say, he's not working out. They, they don't have to give a reason, nothing. That's why they love the recruiting aspect of it. Okay, in my career, I've had one full-time employment. Okay, and what's funny is that particular position or company, it was a government contracted company, so it's not really people just don't get fired from that. But yet, my position got eliminated because they went to AWS. All right, and it's frustrating. It can be frustrating because you're looking at it and saying, I can't even make life decisions or life choices because or build anything because every time I'm looking for work, right? So that problem has been fixed because that's why I continued on and got a CCIE because it wasn't. Now, don't get me wrong, the byproduct of that is astronomical. Okay, all right, but my main goal was to put me in a better position, and to put me in a better position, and to increase my interviewing. Okay, meaning that pound for pound on a year basis, I was not getting as many interviews as I felt I should have been getting. So the CCNE changed from having prestige to solve that aspect because I kind of felt like it would, and holy shit, it did. Okay, I mean, it just that's that drive. It kind of gave me a different type of fueling drive. It fueled my drive differently. Okay, because it was a real problem that I felt the CCIE was going to solve. Okay, now CCIE security, guys, I know this is going to be one of the hardest exams. Okay, the only exam that I could imagine is harder is probably collaboration, and that is probably because I feel that there's a lot of servers involved, and Cisco is not really strong for the software. Okay, now again, that's just my opinion. Okay, based on dealing with their stuff, but I'm usually a hardware guy, so it's not like I deal with it on a regular basis. But there is a sense of an itch inside me saying, Kyle, you're a routing and switch master, okay? All right, master meaning that uh, that term does not mean I know it all. Okay, all right. So I don't use that word um, often. I do use the concept of expert 99% of the time. Okay. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever called myself a master in front of anybody as far as a coworker or anything like that. Okay. Um, Now the other way around, I have been called a master, but not in the context that these people have seen me work. I mean, they're just like, well, hell, you're a master in the field. I mean, this is something you should be able to, acquire without any fear. Something like that, like a comment like that. Okay, it's not putting me on a pedestal. I just want to make sure you understand that the term master does not mean you can't be defeated and that you can't be beaten and somebody is not better than you. Okay, and in fact, if you're worrying about being the best and the smartest person in the room, guys, you're on the wrong path from my perspective. All right, and in fact, I like being the idiot in the room because the only way, the only thing that happens on a daily basis is I learn a lot of shit. Okay, all right, now, and let me tell you, when you're interviewed by two, I mean just two CCIEs, dual CCIEs, with one going for his PhD, the other one having a PhD, yo, um, that type of interview is for that's something for your ass. All right, and it is one of the most enjoyable. Matter of fact, is the best enjoyable interview I've ever been in, and to have the respect being returned to me, okay, it changed my perspective of who I was, because when someone like that said, when both of them say to you know Kyle, just relax. We're not looking for the right answer. We just want to look at your thought process. All right, and this is like an hour in within the interview. And the interview lasted was supposed to be an hour, and it was a 2.5 hour interview because they enjoyed interviewing me, and I enjoyed being interviewed. Okay, that's just something that the reason why that appreciation is there, because this is something that people just don't find in their lifetime, and I'll never see it again. All right, so but it gave me a perspective of seriously not doubting who I was. Okay, know your strengths, know your weaknesses. If you're capable of fixing the weaknesses, that's fine. But you can know a weakness of yours as long as you're self-aware of it. Okay, you fix something, you do a change, and next thing you know, your manager comes back and says, "Hey, can you relook your change? They're having problems with blah 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 blah." Oh, I know what that is because I do that shit all the time. I'm self-aware of what my weakness is. Okay, so whether it's a weakness that I can fix or a weakness I got to call Cisco Tac for, it doesn't matter. I'm able to fix it and be self-aware of that weakness. Okay, and that is a lot of things that happens during your journey through these certifications. You become self-aware of who you are and capable of. Okay, the doubt aspect is just poison. It really is. It's just poison. Okay, but nonetheless, I just wanted to create a video. So there it is. And hey, I'll see you guys on the next one. Be strong, be determined, be Cisco.